Hi Joan. So, what was the book called?
Life in Wartime Bassetlaw.
Yeah. So this is this article.
Yeah.
That you wrote.
Yeah.
And we were talking about on the last video, weren't we?
Yeah.
So we got so far, and I think we finished because I was laughing because although you seem to think it was just how things were back then, it's quite funny to think that your newspapers you'd cut up and use as toilet paper.
Yeah.
And you were lucky if you could get hold of any
tissue paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think that when people were selling things that came in tissue paper, do you think the people knew that everyone was going to be using that tissue paper as toilet paper? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we just did.
And
then I remembered afterwards, it was Isel. It was in a packet, and he just pulled a sheet out of toilet. I can't remember it being in rolls at that time. This Isel, I-Z-A-L, the trade name was Isel toilet paper.
Well, was that the first toilet paper?
Well, as I remember it during the war, it was, you just pulled it out the container, a cardboard container, just the width of it was, and it had, down, it had a piece at the top, and you just pulled a bit out like that, and there were separate sheets. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, right, I don't want to stay with this too long, but was tissue paper like that, or Isel, was it always available, but most people save money by cutting up newspapers and stuff?
I don't really know, really.
No, it's weird, isn't it? Because you were a child, you just did what you did.
Yeah.
If I could ask your parents, when was toilet paper invented or whatever?
Same here, yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, if somebody's watching this, they might be able to make some comments on. Did everybody? Because I was thinking that. Did you say oranges used to come in tissue paper?
Yeah, it's wrapped in tissue paper.
And that
with the name of the country where it had come from.
Right.
See, but we couldn't have bananas because German U-boats get sinking ships coming with various food to England.
Oh,
that
right.
England bought from foreign countries. Yeah.
But you seem to. So bananas were rare.
Yes, they were only available for what they called blue babies. That were babies who were born with something wrong with the blood, I think it was.
Oh, okay. So they were available for medical
reasons, yes.
But oranges seemed to get here, did they?
Yes, because the children were allowed so much orange juice.
Right. Okay.
To help for the vitamins.
I wonder where oranges came from then. If
yeah,
the Germans...
or whether anybody grew any in greenhouses, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But that is a question, isn't it? Because
it seems a bit funny that if you were wrapping your oranges up, if you're selling oranges and they're wrapped in tissue paper, you're thinking, right, everyone's going to be loving our oranges, but loving the tissue paper as well.
Yeah. You see, I have a feeling the lot came from Spain. I don't know why. It's just my thought that they might have come from Spain.
Okay, well,
España.
Somebody might have an answer for that, mightn't they? But
Yeah.
why we don't?
Yeah.
perhaps bananas came from further across the sea.
Yeah. But then I read somewhere that at Chatsworth they were growing bananas, but I don't know whether that was during the war. They were the first people, I think, to grow bananas.
Oh, really? At
Yes, at Chatsworth House. Yeah, in the greenhouse there.
So carrying on with our little, with your story, I think you used to walk with Mary Allen, which is your grandma,
Yes.
into down Little Greenley Lane
Yeah.
into the cornfields
Yeah.
to glean.
Wheat. Yeah. Well, when they'd cut all the wheat, there was all the wheat that had dropped in the field. We used to get that, and then she used to cook it and do what they call creed wheat as a pudding.
What?
With
Creed wheat. So what?
well, cook the wheat.
And what would it look like then?
Well, it reminded you of a bit like rice pudding because of the wheat. You know, the wheat.
Yeah.
It's the heads of wheat. Yeah, yeah. That was something that helped your diet a bit.
So, would you have gone out into the fields gleaning?
Yes.
Would you have seen other? Was that a common practice, or was that just something your grandma had picked up?
Well, then we just went with Grandma. I can't remember seeing anybody else while we were there. We just happened to go in. I think it was there was one field that I can remember going to when it was Grandma's birthday in May, and it was Bill Lacey's had the field, and he was a coalman with a horse and cart, and he lived on Hatfield Street. Yeah.
So you had creed wheat.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's how you spell it or not, but
Right. Okay. And I suppose blackberry picking was.
oh yes, we did. Oh, I think we once went up Caddo Woods, that's up Leverton Hills, and it was October when we'd got what we call potato picking holidays, and we went with Mum and we spent all day pulling blackberries, and she made £21 worth of blackberry jam, I remember.
From that day's.
There, and we took a flask and we were eating James Grieve apples off our tree.
Really?
There at Caddo Woods, as we called it, where there's Blue Stocking Lane and Cutthroat Lane as well there.
When you did those kind of things, as far as you can remember, was your sister always with you? Were you?
Yes, yeah. And either Mum or Dad. And Dad met us this particular day when we pulled all those blackberries with his bicycle when he'd finished work later on in the day. So we'd walk there up Leverton Hills.
Wow, you did some walking then, Joan.
So we did, yes.
It's a bit unthinkable today that you'd walk up Leverton
Yes,
Hill.
and also up when we went to Grove, we'd walk up Dog Kennel, what we call Dog Kennel Hill, to get to Grove.
Can you get to Grove?
Yes, you go. I don't know whether it was still there where Mr. Bacon used to live, had his racehorses at the Chase. Well, a bit further on, there's the lodge gates to Grove, what was Grove Hall, a bit further up, and there was an underground reservoir when you'd gone through the woods and I took some photos of that years ago.
What's an underground reservoir?
Well, it was, all you saw was this grass and some pipes sticking up.
Oh, okay.
And I know there's some Roman ruins there, round there somewhere. We walked through the wood, and then all of a sudden you come where there's trees on all four sides, and there's this reservoir.
Is the reservoir, when you say you took pictures, you mean
It was the grass and these
pipes?
pipes sticking up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a man-made reservoir underneath, or is it just a...
I should say so.
And that was there all those years ago when you was
Yes,
a child?
Yes. So whether it's altered or whether you can see it, like a lake now or what, I don't know.
Okay, so if you go down Oaklands...
Yeah.
No,
No, it's further...
Bracken Lane. Would you go down Bracken?
Down there and to where Mr. Bacon had his house, and up through a little wood, and there's a lodge gates. We call it lodge gates, and there was a cottage there by the side of the gates, and then you get into the field where they kept cows, and then you're into where the nurseries were.
Okay.
And the walled garden.
Oh, okay. And
Yes,
the room,
I don't know whether you would ever go there to the... it was... oh dear, what do they call it? I just can't think at the minute.
Was that where Grove... Did you...
Nurseries was, and there was this walled Victorian garden, and we bought a lot of plants and things from there.
Oh, right,
after
okay.
the
So is it there now? Is anything there now?
No, they closed a few years ago. I don't know whether there's anything there now or not.
Where's the Roman ruins?
Well, there's somewhere in that area, because it's uphill to get there.
Yeah. Did you see the ruins?
No, it's on a map. If you look on an old Ordnance Survey map.
Did you see the Roman ruins yourself, or you just know?
No, I know that I've seen them on the map.
Yeah.
Because
right.
at the office we used to have these Ordnance Survey maps in a special cabinet, the width of the map. Yes, yeah. And in the end, we let Henry Spencer's have them. But of course they're no more, the auctioneers.
Yeah.
So what happened after that, I don't know. Where they would go, whether they would go in archives. A lot of things went to the archivist at Nottingham.
To get to... And was Grove Hall there as well?
No, it had been demolished. It was demolished after the war.
Was it?
Yes.
Do you know why? Why that get demolished?
I don't know, but
you've been...
yes, we went there.
That was that
That would be about 1941, I should say.
And then it got demolished after the war.
Yeah.
So to get to Grove from here up to Grove Hall,
yeah,
you wouldn't need to go out of Retford.
No, we could get, you see, up past the lodge gates through there.
Got you.
And then we were in the field. And then you got to what was Grove Hall Gardens.
Oh, okay. Oh, that'll be on an old map, won't it? It'll be there.
Yeah, yes. And it shows the Roman remains where it said something Roman, there was something Roman there.
What's this? you got down here,
Yeah.
and I think, what's that? We also used to make pegged rugs.
Oh yeah. Yes. Uh, it's an implement you. Well, first of all, we'd have any old clothes and cut them up in strips, little strips, about that long. And then you'd have the pegging needle, as they call it. It was with a wooden handle, and you'd press down and something opened, and then you'd grab your bit of material that you'd cut as a strip, and we'd use sacking, that sack bags, cut them up, and then get a piece and push the needle through the material, and then you'd press the piece of metal down, and then put the material between the two bits that had opened, and then fasten it down and then pull it through.
Wow.
And we all used to sit round, Mum and Dad as well. They'd be at one end and we'd be at the other doing it.
Do you mean a table?
No, we'd sit in a chair each of us, two at one side and Jean and I at the other, and they'd be putting the strips in at that end and we'd be doing them at the other end.
Wow.
Yes.
So that was a proper family activity.
Oh yeah.
Then.
Oh, and you used to, save, as I say, all old clothes that we'd grown out of, or something like that. And if anybody gave you any, to help, because we used to try and make a new rug each year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so that
Yeah,
becomes...
so in front of the fireplace, in front of the hearth.
Oh,
And it was quarry tile floor, because you couldn't get oilcloth, as they called it. You couldn't get oilcloth. And
was this...
nobody got carpets or anything. It was quarry tiles, and the red tiles that were polished with a red coloured polish.
What, in here?
Yes, they were. And then when they were altered, it was concreted.
Oh, okay. Is the floorboards now, or is this concrete?
It's concrete in here, but it's floorboards in the front.
Okay, so but you wouldn't have a carpet in the front.
No, that's second-hand carpet, that. And this was my cousin's, and Jean and I put it down.
So did most people not have carpets, do you think?
There was only wealthy people who did, I think.
Oh, most people...
It was just a pegged rug.
How big is a peg rug? It don't
the bags, you see, the sack bags, when they were cut open, I think they must have been big enough for the width of, the hearth there that you put in front of fire.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
this had red floor. This had
yeah,
red tiles
Yes, and just this pegged rug.
with a peg rug that you'd make every year. How long does it take to make a peg rug? Is that a day or?
Oh no, it'd take a bit, because they're only about an inch wide, the strips that we cut them into.
You've not got a peg rug in here?
No, afraid not.
They've
no.
all gone, have they?
No, but I've got the pegging needle thing somewhere.
Have you?
Yes, it might be in Dad's drawer, as I call it.
Actually, just on that, Joan,
Yeah.
having something, what's that you was going to show me? That big lump of wood with a...
That is a pork pie mould.
And how old's that, do you think?
Oh, that'll be over 100 years old.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Ah, okay. It's 100 years old, so you haven't bought that then? Where did you...
Well, I think that came with some of things from my grandma's.
So
And with her being a good cook, and she used to work at White Hart when she was younger as a cook there.
your grandma?
Yes, the one over there. Mm-hmm.
So what do you do with that then?
Well, that you roll your pastry out and put your mould, and then you have to pull the pastry, keep pulling the pastry up. And then, of course, take it out and put the pie meat in then. And then make sure you've left enough of the pastry to put the lid on top of the pie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then later on, I don't know what it is, but you put it's some jelly that goes in between the pie crust and the top of the pie. I don't know whether you
okay, 'cause that's,
I've forgotten what it is you cook to make the jelly. It'll be something to do with the pork, I should think.
Of course, so when you have a pork pie, and if you bite into it, there's always a bit of jelly at the top.
Yeah,
isn't there?
yes.
Has your mum used that as well?
Yes, when we killed the pig, when the pigs were killed, yeah.
So you've seen your mum use that. Have you used it, or just...
No, Mum did.
But you've still got it, and it's over 100 years old, and you've seen that being used.
Yeah.
And is it possible that your grandma might have used it at the White Hart? Or was it her?
I think it was hers.
Just hers at home?
Yes.
But
because she used to make bread every week, every Friday.
And you got something else there?
Oh, butter pats. that Uncle Harold used at the Maypole. And then he said you got this pattern on.
Just lift them up a little bit.
This pattern.
They're butter patters.
And some had probably flowers embossed on it that showed a better picture than these were just plain lines.
Oh, I see.
And the butter.
So you couldn't buy butter like we buy it today?
No, it all had to be weighed. The same with sugar. And sugar was put in some blue paper bags.
And
a pound of sugar.
Did you get... You had an uncle, didn't you, who did the...
Yes, at the Maypole, Uncle Harold, yes. He was he was a twin. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for showing us them, Joan. They're brilliant.
I'm pleased Amy found them.
Oh, Amy found them, yeah, because...
Yeah.
So they were just in your kitchen, weren't they?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
But I'd bought these off a stall in the market.
How long ago did you buy them, do you think?
At least 10 years ago, I should think.
But it was like an antique store.
Yeah.
But they are butter patters.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen either of those before in my life, but there you go.
Yeah.
Well, your pegged rugs.
Yeah.
Did you make pegged rugs to look beautiful, or were they just totally functional?
Well, yeah, it just depended what colours you'd got, in the materials. Sometimes you tried to do all the same colour for the edging all round.
Right, okay.
And then other you took potluck if you were able to make do a pattern, depended what the material was.
I would imagine that some you're doing dead proud of, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
When
That's the post.
when you've made it.
Yeah.
What did you say? What's an oilcloth? What do you mean oilcloth?
Well, it's a covering over the floor. It was called oilcloth. Linoleum.
Ah, lino.
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. So,
But during the war, I think the last lot Mum bought, all the furniture stuck to it, and it
Yeah.
was inferior, I suppose, and when you picked a chair up, you got part of the cloth came up. So that was when we sort of had just the quarry tiles and the pegged rug.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
You probably didn't really notice at the time, but the quarry tiles, they must have been freezing on your feet. If you wore,
Yeah.
did you have slippers? Can you remember?
Yes. But it was a good while before we had any winter boots with just shoes and Wellingtons. I know one Christmas I was hoping I'd get a pair of winter boots, but instead I got a toy teddy bear. They'd only just started, producing winter boots.
And you
As I
wanted some.
said,
You got a teddy.
yeah, I can remember, you see, it was a long winter, that particular winter. It seemed to last all time, and it was snow on ground and ice on Christmas Day that year, when the canal was frozen.
You know, I don't know the answer to this, but it does seem right. So, in times past, would you have always had a snowy winter?
Yes,
There's always snow in winter,
winter snow at Christmas, yes, it was.
and that's like more often than not, you'd have snow at winter.
Yeah, we definitely did in 1941 when Richard Reed, the soldier in the Royal Army Service Corps, came to our house. Yeah, and the letter is dated 1941 that I got from him.
You've got a letter, have you?
Yes,
No.
that he wrote from Palestine. I think he was at Haifa, but our letter was censored. A blue pencil. It was they wrote their name in blue pencil when they read it to see, to check that there wasn't anything that would be useful to the enemy.
Really?
Yeah.
And that letter's in this house?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it's among the photographs.
Oh.
And I have got a photograph of him. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well hopefully we'll
find that.
we'll
Yes.
find it at some point.
Yes.
This is interesting, Joan. I've learnt something here. So there's German and Italian prisoners of war
Yeah.
in Retford
But yeah,
during the war.
Heaton Camp, and a lot worked on farms. Mainly Italians, and a lot of the Italian families stayed in Retford.
So would they be? You may know, or you may not know, because you was a child. Would they have been caught abroad and brought here?
Yes.
So they've probably had quite a nice life, really. Then.
Yes, did. And then there was the time when, after the war was over, of course they were going back home to Germany or Italy, and quite a lot stayed in Retford. And got married at Register Office.
Really?
Yes, so I saw the wedding.
And your dad was friends with one of the Italians?
Yes, and in the goods yard, Mario. And we sent him a bar of soap, which was on the ration, soap was on the ration. Yeah.
Did Mario, can you remember his surname? Did he have a surname?
No, we never knew it.
Did he go home?
Yes.
Where would the prisoners would they live?
There was Heaton Camp.
That's where they lived, is it? That's where they
Yes. And one year in the summer we went to the river at Eton, and in one of Mr. Barber's fields, and we went in the river, were paddling in the river, and there were two gentlemen walking over a little bridge, and they were, I don't know if they were French or Italian, I can't remember, but they were displaced, what you call displaced persons, and one of them was pointing down into the river, and I was stood near the bridge, and he pointed to his eyes. His spectacles had dropped off and gone in the river, so I was able to pick them up for him. And then he took his shoe off and sock and showed me where he'd got a bullet hole in his foot, where, he'd been shot by Germans. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You've got here that the prisoners of war wore brown boiler suits.
Yes. Yes, they did.
So
And then they had this round orangey coloured circle on the back of the suit.
Was it a circle? Was it filled in?
Yes, it was filled in. Yes.
Filled in circle.
Yes. So you could be able to see them from a distance.
And did they have to wear that suit?
To wear when they were in the fields. Yes. Yes.
Or they didn't just work in fields, did they?
I shouldn't think so, but we saw them in the fields and gardens and things. Oh, and when we had a trip with Hurton's bus with my grandma, we went to Roach Abbey. This was when the war had finished, when we first at work about 1946, 47, when we went on Hurton's. They had the school bus, and then Wednesday afternoons, which we had off for half a day, we went on this bus trip to Newstead Abbey, the home of Lord Byron.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And there were Italian prisoners working in the garden there. And it was when all the roses were out. It was lovely. And we saw the tomb of his dog Bosun, I can remember seeing. And there was the old ruins of the abbey, and then the next abbey that was built where Lord Byron lived. Yeah.
And you saw prisoners of war?
Well, in the rose garden, I can remember. By the side of the lake. And there was a swan on the lake, and swan had been injured in some way, I remember. And it was a bit tame, it had come to you.
So did they have brown overalls on?
Yes.
With the circle?
Yeah.
So that was...
It was general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was everywhere.
Yeah.
Huh. It says here that I was curious about this. There was some ammunition stored in boxes at the Jockey House. Is that just a reference?
It's on the way. If you go to Babworth, and there's a road to your left that you can branch off, and that's where we used to ride to Clumber Park. When they opened it, because that had ammunition stored in there as well. It was on the right hand side of the grass verge, and it was corrugated sheeting just done over it, and you could see all the boxes of ammunition.
Was that
There wasn't a door on or anything. It was just the corrugated sheeting over.
was that after the war?
No.
Oh.
It was during war.
Oh, is that where it was stored? That's where.
Yes, and it was also in Clumber Park, we understood, because when Clumber Park first opened to the public, it was only sort of near Applehead Gates that it was opened, and the Woods Yard. But because they'd still got ammunition stored there. Yeah.
Was that like, was it a lot of ammunition? When you think about the Jockey House, was it quite a big?
Well, it was along the road till you got to the 4 lanes, and then you got out and you came out at Applehead Gates there, opposite Applehead Gates.
You wouldn't want ammunition stored near your house, really, would you?
No, but this was sort of where it was fields either side of it.
Right.
But there was, it was on the road from Babworth.
Yeah.
Everybody could see that it was boxes of ammunition. It wasn't.
No.
There was no door or anything on the corrugated sheeting.
The Jockey House, it's famous. You've never heard it. Can you think of anything that the Jockey House is famous for?
Well, there was the railway crossing. Whether there was something up there? But we just knew it as Jockey House.
Yeah, there is some sort of history. I think it might be Dick Turpin.
Yeah, and I've got a book with Dick Turpin's trial and all that Miss Appleby from the shop gave me. It's Old Bailey trials. And there's all the drawings as well, the stories. And I've got an old recipe book as well.
Oh, here as well.
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere in the south.
Yeah.
There's a day that your mum made a cake in a fire.
Our birthday cake, yeah. She'd saved up all the dried fruit and things. And she was given a bottle of, I think it was whiskey. And of course she put some in the cake and put it in the side oven to cook. And when we came home from school, she told us, she said, when she was testing, whether it was cooked enough, she opened the oven door and it was on fire. So she had to shove it out the side oven. So we didn't have a birthday cake that year.
That was your birthday, was it?
Yeah.
I wonder what year that was.
I was thinking would be about 12 or something like that, perhaps not as old.
Oh, that was probably during the war then.
Yes, it was, yeah. And so we were told afterwards, well, perhaps there was something else in the whiskey that had made it set on fire.
Oh, that's
you
interesting.
See, like methylated spirits or something like that.
And where was the oven?
It was it was a cooking range. It was a side oven. It was the right hand side. Yes, it was. Yeah, and there was like a basket where you had the fire. It was nearly face height. That was the only heating we had there. And then there was a boiler by the side, but it wasn't very big, so you couldn't. I mean, you had to make sure that it always got some water in. But I mean, when it was bath night, it took ages getting plenty of water for the tin bath in front of the fire.
Ah,
Yeah,
so that there, your fireplace where it is now,
yeah,
that was a fire and an oven.
yes, with shelves in. And in the winter, Mum used to take one of the metal shelves out when it was hot, wrap it in a piece of old blanket and put it in the bed to warm the bed in the winter.
Wow.
Yeah. But that was before rubber hot water bottles. And we also had a stone hot water bottle to put in bed as well.
So when was that replaced? Oh, yeah. I mean, the first one, did that not run radiators or anything?
No, there was nothing. No.
And it heated up water. How did you heat up water for your tub?
Well, we're just by the side of the fire and boiling the kettle on the stove, but we had a kettle for the fireplace, and then it was gas. Mum had a gas oven, but then, I don't know whether I told you before, about when the sweep came, and in those days they'd nail a piece of sacking in front of the fireplace to stop the soot falling out into the room. And Mum heard a hissing noise, and it turned out, I mean, we were at school for a good job, turned out it hammered a nail through the gas pipe. So Mum asked for the gas to be taken out, and we've never had any gas since. So they had to pay as tenants, and we'd only got one power point, that's all in those days, because there'd been gas lights, you see. Well, they were, not used anymore.
So was it coal at some point, your fire?
Oh yes, coal. I mean, they had to light it every day and take the ashes out in the morning. Yeah, let them cool before you put them in the tin dustbin. And the dustbin men used to carry the bins full on the shoulders. And they'd walk along the bottom here and up the passage and into the street to empty them.
So did you have dustbin men that would take your bin full of
ashes? Cold ashes, yes.
Did you have bin men? Did the same bin men take another bin with your rubbish in, or?
No, it was all in one bin.
Or ashes
yes, anything else. Yeah.
And rubbish was all in one bin.
Yeah.
What did the bins look like?
They were tin and a bit of some lines so far wide, a bit of a pattern round them, and with a tin lid as well.
Oh, okay, but so there was round.
Yes.
Like a cylinder.
Yes, grey colour metal it was.
And then later, I think they must have had rubber. Some had rubber.
Oh, it was ages before.
Ah.
We got the plastic bit.
Yeah, no, I was on about the lid. I can seem to remember.
Oh, yes, you could get. Yes, we did have a black rubber lid. Yeah.
It's a funny thing to ask, isn't it? But
yeah.
So, did your fireplace? Did it go from coal to And then, can you remember having gas installed in your house, or was gas?
No, it was taken out because of the hammering the nail through. Mum
Yeah.
said she wasn't having any more gas.
But did
So
you?
then we went to have an electric stove then.
But did your fireplace go from being coal to gas, or was it always coal?
It was the fire was always coal. We never had a gas fire.
Right, I've got you. So,
Yeah.
but you did have gas in the house for the lighting.
Yeah, for the lighting, yeah.
And it was yes, I see. So the coal.
And the coal fires was in use still.
When did you get your fireplace changed then? Because it's.
Oh, that was 1969 or so. 1969.
You had the old one taken out.
Yeah,
And that.
and these new ones put in. February the 1st, and it snowed.
Really?
Yeah, we were sat in front room while they were coming in with wheelbarrows, concreting the floors when they'd put the fireplace in.
And is that still a coal fire, that, or is that a gas fire now?
No, it's coal with no gas at all.
Oh, okay.
It was all taken out when the sweep.
Yeah, nailed.
Nailed through, yeah.
And can you remember having one socket? That's one socket.
Socket there, yeah.
Was that there all the time you lived here, or did?
Yes, and then when we were rewired, these new ones were put in. Yeah.
So for a long time you had one socket in the house
Yes.
until what? When do you think you would have had more sockets put in?
Well, that would be 1970 about.
Oh, okay. And then you had,
Or bit later. Because that was when a bathroom was put in, where the wash house and coal house and pantry used to be.
wow. Can you remember the bathroom being put in?
Yes, yeah.
And can you remember? I don't know what happens then. So you go from having a tin bath.
Yes, that was it.
Once every
On
week.
a tin bath, yes,
To having a bath.
yes, inside, and the toilet inside as well, because we used to have to go down the yard in all weathers.
How would you have heated the water for the bath? Do you know? Was that electric? Oh, it can't have been. You've only.
It wasn't, no, not to begin with, no. It was, we had immersion heater, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that is electric.
Yeah.
Joan, electric immersion heater. You
Yeah.
must have had a cylinder somewhere put in.
Yes, it was in the bedroom there.
Did everyone kind of get bathrooms fitted at the same time? Was that a new thing?
Yeah, that was compulsory. That's why parents had been offered to buy the house, because the landlord wouldn't put a bathroom in, because the property was rented up to 1969 from 1937.
Oh, what do you mean compulsory?
Well, to put, yeah, you had to have a bathroom.
Was that like a government thing?
Yes, yeah, and you got a grant to to put a bathroom in.
Can you? I think you've told me the year. What year did you have your bathroom? Can you remember?
1969 it started in October.
Oh, wow.
And there was still having alterations done, as I say. New fireplaces put in February the following year, yeah.
1969. I'm trying to. So 30. Right, so you were being your 30s by then.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's a long time. A lot of your life was just bathing in tin baths. And
Yes. Or when one of my aunties who lived at Worksop came to live at Retford. She was on Grove Coach Road and she'd got a bathroom. So we used to go each Saturday. I think we used to pay her a shilling towards the electric for the heating of the bath water.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was, I think you could go to a public. Could you go to a public?
Oh, there was public baths, which is Retford Squash Club.
Right, okay.
That was a public bath. And it was also the swimming baths as well.
So members of the public could go and have a bath?
Yeah.
Was there a lot of... what did they look like? Were they just...
I've no idea.
Oh,
Because
didn't
we
you go?
just went about twice to the swimming baths.
Right.
So I never saw that part where the proper... They called them slipper baths. They were always called.
Ah, right. Because I think someone else told me that when he left work,
Yeah.
once a week he'd go to the slipper bath.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
I've got here, so this is interesting, I thought. You can remember finding a leaflet dropped by a German plane.
Yes.
So, so in all of your life, did you only just see the one leaflet, or did you see lots?
I can only remember seeing one.
But it had been dropped by a plane, had it?
Yes, it was propaganda of some sort.
Did you read it? Can you remember?
Can't remember doing.
Okay, but
Just saw it in
where can you remember where that was?
the garden near the hedge, near the dividing hedge between number 19 and ours.
At the front or the back?
It was at the back near the lawn. Yeah.
You found a
Yeah.
propaganda leaflet?
Yeah. And then there was something to stop something. There was like silver foil we found. I can't remember what that was supposed to do.
Well, I'm guessing that it was to interfere with radar.
Yes, something like
But
that.
you found one of them?
Yes, yeah.
So as regards your leaflet and your foil, they're not in this house, are they? Did you?
No.
That's a shame.
I'm afraid not.
And the wireless, so the wireless was a big part of your life.
Well, it was because that's... Oh, but we'd got a wind-up gramophone. We used to play records on, yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the old-fashioned records. And I've got some that are only recorded on one side, some old records.
You've not still got your gramophone, have you?
Oh, yes, but the Dad took it out. It's got a few records in it in the cabinet at the bottom, but there's no turntabling. He took that out because parents bought a radiogram, which used to be in that corner there. The second to Henry Spencer's sale, and there was something wrong with it, but a railway mate of his came, and between them they got it working again.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you say about gramophone that you wound up, has it got a big speaker?
No, that was incorporated in the cabinet. And you could open the doors and it would be come louder then when you open the door.
Is that still in this house?
Yes, in the front room with a few old-fashioned records.
Oh, is it in the front room?
Yes, yeah.
So that's what you play your old-fashioned records on?
Yes.
You've got some old records, have you?
Yes.
From what era would they have been?
Well, there's some in 30s.
You've not got records from the 30s, have you? Actually physical?
Well, there might be because a neighbour who lived at number 14, he gave me, was it the Stainer's Crucifixion Records, and I think that'll be an old one because he was in his 60s or 70s when he gave me them, so that they'd be fairly old.
Wow. So, and was records a big part of your life?
Oh yes, we used to, and we used to buy them from A.V. Brown on Grove Street, who used to sell pianos, and the piano, that is Mum's piano in the front room, David Whitten piano, that was bought from A.V. Brown. A father bought it, so that was before 1918, because he was killed in 1918. So.
Right, who's got a piano from A.V. Brown?
Mum, Dad had bought it.
Who? Your mum?
Bought Mum it, yeah.
You had a piano in the front room?
It's still there.
Still there? There's a piano in your front room?
Yes. Yeah.
And that was bought from A.V. Brown's?
Yes.
On Grove Street?
Yes. Yeah. And it says David Whitten of London.
And do you think that is... What year do you think that is?
Well, it was before 1918 because he was killed on 27th of May 1918.
Who was killed?
My grandfather, my mum's dad.
Right. I'm sorry for labouring this, Joan, but your grandfather purchased a piano for your mum?
Yes, yeah.
Probably
when she was a little girl, yeah.
Probably at 76.
Gross. Well, now I don't know whether he'd ever be there, because they were at Trent Street when he was killed, when she got the note to say that he was missing, presumed killed.
Do you know what number on Trent Street?
I'm not sure, but it might have been 34.
Right, okay.
It was a terraced house anyway.
And he bought her a piano that was probably at number 34 Trent Street.
And then it was at 76 Grove Street.
And now...
then when they were moved, after the gasworks explosion, they bought a property on George Street. Well, there wasn't room for the piano, and because it had always been at my grandma's, so it was delivered to our house for Mum. And Christmas time, when it was at my grandma's, we always used to be singing carols, and Mum would be playing the piano and my grandma would be singing. And in years gone by, Mum said she used to play the piano at what she called the Institute on Union Street, and my grandma used to sing solos.
Wow.
Yes. So
where's Union Street?
It's where down by the side of Methodist.
That's Union Street.
Church. And there used to be another Methodist chapel at the bottom of Union Street.
Right.
And then it was bought by Blythe Model Dairies, who used to collect our eggs from chickens. And that's how my sister met her husband.
Oh.
Yes. He used to come and collect eggs off us. Yeah.
From here?
Yes. Well, we had chickens.
So you had chickens. Why
Yeah.
would he collect your eggs? What would he do with them?
They would take them to the Blythe Model Dairies, and they were, I suppose distributed to all the shops or whatever, fresh eggs.
Oh, okay. Because
There used to be, I know, we used to get so much for an eggs. They were done in farthings and 3 farthings as well. Price. Yeah.
so a guy used to come here to
Yeah.
collect eggs. What was his name?
That was Arthur Ford.
And
He married my sister.
can you remember how that sort of developed? I mean,
Yeah, well,
was it
I
like
used
first sight, or?
I used to lend him books. I belonged to Foyle's Book Club, and I used to lend him my books, and well, he used to take all family out in his car. He did to begin with, yeah.
Or your family?
Yeah, well, that Mum and Dad and Jean and me, yeah.
Oh.
He had a little car.
And then
It was a Ford, an old-fashioned Ford car, his first car.
how old was you? So, where did they get married?
St Albans Church.
St Albans.
Yes.
Is there some wedding pictures of them somewhere?
Yes.
In here?
Yes. And also their eldest sons, it was christened there at St Albans. They came from Little Steep into St Albans.
Can you remember when she got married? What?
31st of January 1963, I think it was, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Right.
Yeah. And it was snowing then. There was snow on the ground.
Was you a bridesmaid or?
Yes, I was, yeah. And my cousin Margaret as well, yeah. Yeah.
Just going back to your radio, you had a valve radio.
Yes.
You don't still have that, do you?
No.
No.
But I got a speaker that we had when we were at Dover Street at Worksop. That's in the cupboard upstairs on the shelf.
A speaker?
Okay. Yeah, it was, you could hear things louder. You hung it on the wall. It's a maroony coloured wood.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's nearly 100 years old.
So
isn't it?
you'll be getting on. Yeah.
Is that a speaker with a little bit of wire coming out? Is it some cable? Did you?
I can't remember. I just remember seeing it high up on the wall.
And during the war, it sounds like. So these are names I've never heard of. What's Tommy Handley? Is that a?
Oh yes, it was a radio programme, and there was a character on it called Mrs. Mop, and she used to go and say, "Can I do you now, sir?"
Can I do you now, sir?
And I believe she was one who was lived at Babbitt and was on radio. I may be wrong. I might have remembered it wrong. But something to do with Babbitt she was, the one who was Mrs. Mop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was her phrase? What did she say?
Can I do you now, sir? And
Was that a comedy? Was it a comedy?
A comedy show. And then it was, they called the programme It Ma. It's that, and it was called It's That Man Again. And there used to be a song, It's That Man Again.
And is this during the war?
Yes. Yeah.
And
He was, and Tommy Handley, yes, he was the main comedian. Then Mrs. Mop kept coming on and interrupting him and different things.
did you?
And there used to be another comic called Rob Wilton on. And he used to say, the day war broke out, my missus, she says to me, now what are you doing today in Home Guard? And he said, oh, we'll be going on a route march. She says, who? He says, oh, me and Charlie Edwards and a few others. Something like that. Yeah.
So was that?
But it was always, the day war broke out, emphasis on that. Yeah.
Did you plug that into your only socket? Did it need power? The radio?
Yes, I think it did.
Because you said it had valves, so
Yeah.
it must have been.
Yes, it was, and they lit up, yeah.
That must have been.
Because when we were little, we thought we could see some people in the valves when Dad was cleaning the radio.
Oh, that's brilliant. So was the radio... Did you sit around and listen to the radio, or was it just on and you just in the house doing your stuff?
Oh, sometimes we'd sit and listen, especially Winston Churchill's speeches, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What's BBC... Is there some... I'm not quite sure what this means. BBC Ramsbottom.
Oh, yeah, that was a programme called Happydrome. There was Harry Corris and somebody... it was Ramsbottom and Enoch and me, there was a song. They were three characters on the radio. And it was called Happydrome, the programme. Yeah.
Was that a comedy?
Yes, there was lots of comedies, yeah.
And were they like scheduled weekly?
Yes. And then as a programme started, Variety Bandbox, and I think that's when Harry Seacombe first appeared on it. It was that was when he first sang. And also there was, who else was there? Ken Dowd, I think. He was on.
Wait, Ken Dowd, you mean during the war? Or was that later?
Yes, was he a soldier? There were, I know Harry Seacombe was on. And also, I'll tell you another programme. There was Lance Corporal Ted Hockridge, who was a singer, and he used to sing with Sandy McPherson, who played the organ on the radio. And we sent a request once to Sandy McPherson to play a piece of music for Mum's birthday. And of course we were at school, we didn't hear it, but he broadcast it, and he played Humoresque by Dvorak for her.
What was your
But it was her birthday.
What date is your mum's birthday?
17th of February.
And what year-ish would that
She
have
was
been?
born 1907.
But what year would that request have been made? Can you...
Well, it was while I was still at school, and we're at school till we were 14. So it would be perhaps when we were 12 or 13 that we sent a request.
Well, you never know. That might be in some sort of archive. What radio show was that?
Well, it was Sandy McPherson, and it was he became a star afterwards. He was Lance Corporal Ted Hockridge. I think he was Canadian, a singer. And
what was the show called?
I can't remember whether it just said Sandy McPherson at the organ or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And your mum's birth date again? Date?
February 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's Lord Haha?
Oh, he was an Englishman, but he was a spy for the Germans, sort of. And he used to... It said that the Germans had bombed Royal Arthur, I think it was, and sunk it. But I think it was a land-based name that was called. Yeah.
So you can't sink. You couldn't sink
Yeah,
Royal
and I
Orford.
think they might have been referring to Skegness, Butlins, or something like
Yeah,
that.
because it was based at Butlins.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we knew that was propaganda. Oh, and I think he was hanged during, when there'd been the war trials, criminal war trials.
Okay, right. I'm a little bit lost there. So Lord Haha, did he have a radio show?
His name was, I put William Joyce.
Yeah,
Yes, William Joyce. But he was English and he was on the German side.
but he had a radio program.
Yes, they kept broadcasting. You could listen to him. He'd say, Germany calling, Germany calling.
Ah, so that wasn't like a BBC program then? That was just coming over the airways.
Yeah, but, yes, somewhere or other. Yes, yeah. Yeah, and of course we children used to be shouting at him.
But you'd have had to tune into him, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, I suppose
So there was an
so.
Englishman
Yeah.
using German propaganda,
Yeah.
and nobody could find him, and he was just able to transmit it. Is it like that? Is that
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Wow. It says here that cooking building by the side of the gasworks. What's that?
Yeah, well, that's Kettlewell's officers.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I think we should have had cookery lessons there because we're at national school.
Was it?
But then I think it was taken over. I think it was by the VADs, as they call them. Some organisation during the war that they commandeered it, so we had to go up to Holcroft Girls' School to have cookery lessons.
Oh, I see. So was the cooking building near the gasworks? Was that part of the school?
I think it must have been.
And then you
It
went
still
and had
sort of belonged to the school. That's we knew it as cookery school.
Oh,
See, and then next thing we were having to go up to Holcroft.
is that the actual Kettlewell's office now? That's not.
Yeah. It was like a bungalow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was.
By the side of the gas. Oh, and there was curtains in between. That was it. And the other school. But curtains in years gone by. I can remember seeing Mrs. Hurton Senior manning the petrol pumps. There was petrol pumps on the pavement right near the gasworks.
Why was that a petrol station as well?
Well, they used to, you see, keep the bus, the school bus there, and the one we went to Newstead Abbey on. That was there in the garage.
Has Hurton's not always been a funeral?
Oh yes, it was then.
It was a funeral place.
Yes,
was it?
it's good. Well, yes, I remember. Grandad Hurton, as we called him, the old gentleman. Eric Hurton, I think they called him, and his son Frank, and then there was son John. Frank, he had two daughters. One called Sheila, but I forgot what the other one was called.
Why would Mrs. Hurton be?
She was there at petrol pumps.
Yeah, why? Why would she do that if she? Did she live and work at the funeral place?
Yeah. She was a little lady, and she used to wear a beige-coloured knitted hat, I remember.
Wow. And did you say that on Grove Street where you lived, there was actually a garage? Was there a car place?
Oh, there's a garage next door to my grandma's house. Yes.
Was that-
It was King's garage then.
Was
And
that,
then years later, Mr. Dunk had it. But it was King's garage
was
at the
that?
time of Frederick Nodder. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Mona Tinsley, yeah.
And was that going towards Gashouse Bridge? Is it that side of your house? Grandma's? Was
yes,
it
it's
actually
going-
at the side of your grandma's?
Yes, that was it. And near where you see the horse chestnut tree. And the stump's still there.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah,
So the stump that's still there on Grove Street,
yeah.
out front of the flats, that was like the corner or the end of your
the
garden.
garden part of the backyard, because it was a big yard.
And the garage, did that repair cars or sell cars? What did that? Can you remember what the garage?
I think it was just probably. I don't think it was a lot really. Probably just serving petrol or something. I don't.
What was that called?
It was Dunk's garage.
Dunks.
Yes, Dunks. And Mr. Dunk and his son had it, as I remember rightly.
And
Then, but that was, but it was King's before that, King's garage.
oh, okay, you can remember it being King's Garage,
Yes, when we were little, yes,
and then it became Dunks.
yes, yeah. But and King's, that's the little boy who is on my parents' wedding photo, Arthur King, the one who married Betty Seal. Yes,
Oh.
that was his father who must have had it.
Betty Sear who fell in the canal,
Yes,
and Arthur King.
King
Is he
married her.
and is he related to you? Is he related? To,
No, they were just a family friend, I believe. Yeah.
and so just to finish off then, the cookery building was
Yeah.
closed. It was taken over by the
VADs, I think. It
VAD, but you don't know what that
was.
means.
No.
Okay. Which meant you had to go to the.
Hallcroft School for Girls, where there was Miss Murphy took our class, and there was another class next door, and Miss Penny was in
What?
charge of that.
Why did you so did you go there to do cooking?
Yes, to begin with, and washing. Washing
What does washing mean?
clothes. Washing the clothes in the sink.
Was that to learn washing clothes in the sink?
Yes,
Oh.
yeah. Yes, and
What a funny thing to do.
cleaning the store cupboard out, and I mean we're only allowed 2 ounces of cooking fat. That was all to do with cooking.
Right, okay. You were allowed 2 ounces of cooking fat to do cooking.
Yeah, yeah.
To cook what? What would you be cooking?
All sort of different things. Potato piglets. Potato, a jacket potato with a sausage through the. You got an apple core and got the middle of the potato out, and in its place you pushed the sausage in, and then
Oh.
put it in the oven for so long to cook it.
Wow.
And we made pancakes. I remember on Pancake Day we were there.
So why, if you went to do cooking, why did you end up like mopping floors and using
Oh yes,
irons?
yes, that was it. Yeah, in store cupboard and the floor, and yeah, and
Was that all part of your lesson, or was it?
yes, and for ironing, there was a. It was on an antique programme last weekend. The piece of equipment with all the flat irons on, red up, and they didn't know what it was.
Oh, right, okay.
Uh,
What was it?
It was where the flat irons were heated. It was a metal structure with all these irons about as high up as that, and the flat irons were stood up on the bottom piece, and that must have been gas heated, I think, and there was flat iron. One of us there were two people at a desk type table, and one of them had to use the flat iron, and the other used the electric one, which was plugged in the light bulb socket.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know
not
that,
very safe nowadays.
You know that gas iron heater?
Yeah.
Did that heat a lot of irons up
Yes,
at once?
it was all the way round. There were four sides to it. And
Okay, so you put your which is just an iron.
yes,
Oh, right.
stood it up on end. Yeah, by the.
Well, an iron in those days was probably just a lump of iron, isn't it, with a handle?
Yeah.
Shaped, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
So that's probably why they're called irons today.
Yes, and my grandmother, she had a gas iron.
Gas.
Yes,
Gas
and there
iron.
was the light in the but I used to be frightened of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there was one electric iron, was there, that plugged in?
Into the light bulb part.
Wow.
Not very safe, was it?
No, it's.
And it was me who had the electric iron.
Did you kind of switch the light switch off, plug it in, and then switch the light switch on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Did you have ironing boards like we do today?
no, we
Oh.
had a desk tape. It was like a desk.
And you just put an item of clothing on.
You had a cover over, and what should I ironed? Yeah.
How did your mum eat an iron up here?
But on the fire. You could buy a piece of metal to stand the iron on in front of because the fires were sort of high up here,
Oh,
and sort of eye level they were. I suppose that they threw the most heat out in that position. Yeah.
have you got any photos of the house? Did you ever take any photos in here, Joan, in your house?
I took one in this corner when I first got my camera.
Did you?
Yeah.
So we'll have a photo.
Taken with electric. I just had the electric light switched on when we'd only one light then.
What was the picture of? Was it?
Oh no, unless my sister took it, because I think it's me sat in the chair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When did
That's in that for my first album.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Joan, we've run out of time, and I
Oh.
didn't even get to. Is it doodle bugs?
Oh yeah. Oh, that was frightening.
Right.
That was
that's
when I
next
was
time.
most frightened.
That's
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
fantastic, Joan. Thank you so much.
And thank you
And
for your
it's-
patience.
Oh, Joan, there's no hurry. It's an
No.
absolute pleasure. Thank you, Joan. I'll switch off now.
Thanks.